Hello YouTube, it's me, Brittany, and today I want to talk to you about how to deal with family members misgendering or dead naming you. But before we get into that, I want to thank every single one of you guys that have already subscribed. I have a number of like 195 as of right now. I am super excited to have you guys all here. If this is your first time watching me, please hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you're going to enjoy it. We do a lot of fun things here. This is also an interactive channel where I would like you guys to feel comfortable to interact with me, and I've noticed that some of you guys have been doing that a lot more lately in the comments section, and I'm currently working on some videos for a couple of you guys. To include, I just purchased some new lighting. If you can't tell, my lighting looks a lot better in here, and this freaking mirror so that I can do my eyes for you guys tomorrow, because you guys seem to like the makeup tutorial I did the other day, and you guys have requested me to do and show you guys how I do my eyes. So yeah, I'm working on that. Gonna try to do that tomorrow. I was gonna do that yesterday, and then I was gonna do that today, and then that girl back there, my little butterfly board, just kind of was like, let's go riding. And so I did, both days. And then I slept all day long, and then I didn't have enough time to do anything. So today I have a little bit to kind of get in, so I have a small little topic I want to talk about. It's not going to take too long, but some of you may like what you hear, some of you may need to hear this. But there is a right way and a wrong way in dealing with your family, specifically your family. So this video, I'm not talking about your co-workers, your friends, people you randomly run into. I'm specifically talking about your family members, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your uncles, your aunts, your grandmas, anything like that. So when you transition, you go through the first couple of years generally, and I know if you're like me, you had a very tumultuous relationship with your family during that time period, because they consistently would misgender you, they would dead name you, things like that, and it would make you angry. It would get you upset, it make you feel bad, make you down on yourself, maybe doubt yourself, anything like that, and you would lash out and get angry with them. And I know, because I am speaking from experience at this point. I pretty much pushed my family away right after when I first came out. I came out to my son, and then kind of deleted my whole family from my Facebook, and then came out to the world, and then really my family kind of found out like 3 to 5 months later, and then it was the whole ordeal. Well, we don't really think that's right. We don't think that's what is best for you. You know, the whole thing that parents and families generally do. And it's really frustrating. I understand that it's really frustrating. However, coming from someone who's been there and has looked back now, and that's basically what I'm doing, I'm looking back at the situation, the worst thing I could have done was what I did, which is lash out and attack my parents and attack my family for not accepting me for who I was, because that's not exactly what was happening. At the time, that's what it felt like. I felt like, hey, this is me. My name is Brittany now. I'm a girl. I'm not a boy. Please stop calling me by the other name. Please use she, her pronouns. That's what, and to me, like, I thought that was really simple. And to all of us, we think that's a really simple thing to do. But when you look at it, I go, and I basically, the way I look back at, about a year and a half ago, and I said, if my son were to do this, I would be hurt. I would love my son unconditionally, or my daughter, whichever he or she wanted to be. I know my son is not trans, so that's, I'm using him as an analogy in this situation. But if that were to happen, even though I know that I love my son, the fact that I lost my son is going to hurt me. It's going to affect me, and it's going to take me a while to deal with that. So I'm going to say this because a lot of you guys need to hear this, but your parents, your family's feelings about this transition and your transition are just as valid as your feelings. And you need to learn how to listen in an appropriate way, and I promise you, all that turmoil will go, maybe not all of it, but it definitely will subside to a point, because if you kill them with kindness and kill them with love, then eventually they have no reason to not do what you want them to do, because you haven't given them a reason not to. So from my experience, I like I said, I pushed my family away for the first 6 months, and then I finally came out. My brother and my sister were very, very accepting. My mom and my father, definitely not. There's still parts of my father's side of the family that I haven't seen in 6 years, because I don't know how they will respond to it. I know that my father has been the worst in my case. However, he's come around a lot further than he was 6 years ago. But the reason it's taken my father a lot longer is because I was his oldest boy. I was the one he took hunting from the time I was 11 years old. I played sports. I was interested in a lot of things that he was interested in. So we had a little bit of a relationship. Whereas my younger brother is, I mean, no offense, just kind of one of those computer people, and him and my father really didn't mesh. So for my father, who still occasionally dead names me, although he's gotten a lot better now. He's gotten a lot better. He still misgenders me, but once I said, he's gotten a lot better. He's still mourning the loss of the son that he had. He still hasn't realized that even though I've changed my gender and I've changed my name, that I'm still kind of the same person. I'm still waiting for the day that my dad asked me to go hunting with him again. I haven't been able to go hunting since I've transitioned because my dad doesn't think that that's an acceptable thing for me to do anymore as a girl, because that's the way he was raised. Now, part of me is hurt by this, yes, but if I were angry and I've lashed out at my father for these things, it's just going to push him away even more. The reason my father's been coming around so much over the last 2 to 3 years is because every time I see him, I don't have mean things to say to him. We get in arguments about other things, but it has nothing to do with my gender identity or who I am anymore. It has to do with normal father-child relationships, getting in arguments. But because I haven't lashed out and I haven't really been, I give him that benefit of the doubt, and I kind of, when he does it, I just kind of dust it off my shoulder, and I count on my family, my brother, my sister, and my mother, who have come around to kind of have my back. I don't have to fight the fight anymore because I've been so nice and loving with the rest of my family, and they realize that it hurts me. They know, so they help fight the fight for me. So I tell you the best way to deal with, your family misgendering, I know it hurts and it's really, really frustrating, is to really just kind of kill it with kindness. Because if you lash out and you throw these fits at them, it's just going to push them away. But if you say, you brush it off and then come back later and say, hey, this kind of hurts me. Let's have a conversation. Let me explain this to you. Like I did with my mother. My mother I pushed away. And my mother was my rock. That was the hardest person for me to lose in my life, was my mother. So it was really important for me to get that relationship back. So I actually took my mother to my counseling with me in my first couple of years. And it wasn't until around the second year that I had started, that I had been transitioning and been on hormones, that my mother really saw the picture. But it took my mother sitting in a therapist office with me, crying and explaining that you've been my son for 30 years. I loved my son. And not that I don't love you as my daughter, but I loved my son. And no matter what you think, they are mourning the loss of a child at the time when you're transitioning, in the first couple of years of your transition. They're mourning a child that they loved and that they grew to know. And now they're realizing that they were just a little bit wrong in that. And it doesn't change the fact that they love you any different. It needs some adjustment. And it's, you can't adjust with anger and hate and rage and fighting with them. You adjust through love and communication and, just being nice to each other. Remember, these are your family. No matter what you do, you can't get rid of them. I always say that, yes, as a trans woman, you have your family, and that might be a struggle relationship, that might be a hard relationship. Then you have your sisters and brothers in the trans world that are also your family, that are going to be there to support you. So use both families in this time period to help you. Your brothers and sisters in the trans world are going to be here to have your back when you're frustrated with that misgendering and that dead naming that's going on with you. But when you're with your family, it's important to be nice and not use the lash and anger that we want to lash out with, because it just isn't as effective as we think it's going to be, and it actually leads to a lot harder of a transition for you and for them. So that's really kind of all I have to say on that topic. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but I was going to go short. Here we are at 10 minutes. Once again, if this is your first time watching, thanks again. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button to see more. I'm working on my makeup tutorial for eyes. Tomorrow, look for that. I'm also working on a video specifically requested to talk about my experience while being a wrestler in high school. That's coming. Also, I am recording myself snowboarding and doing stuff all over the mountain. If you guys would be interested in that, I would totally be willing to put a video together for you guys. Just let me know in the comments if that's something you guys are interested in. Once again, I love every single one of you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys all later. Bye-bye.